Hello, welcome back everybody. Welcome to How to RPG. Before you see Dark Heresy, a rule book that I will hopefully get to use one day, but we're looking at Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Ed Edition, but actually I don't actually have BECMI or Basic Dungeons and Dragons. I don't have that in physical form, and so we're still going to cover that for today. By all means, I have every intention of doing so. I'm going to just say that I had a car accident with a deer last night, so I'm feeling a little sore and very, very guilty. Not that I could have missed the deer, but I'm going to put up a poll. Feel free to take part in that poll. If I seem a little bit off or slow, that's because like I said, I was involved in a car accident with a deer. I can tell you now, it doesn't feel like anything else. It's not like a rabbit or a possum or a cat or a dog or anything like that. Anyway, so my suggestion is grab some food, some drink, make sure you're comfortable, and we'll get into this. Welcome, Fred Hubber. Hello, Scott. How are you doing? Good to have you. Anyway, let's rock into this. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. Not just role-playing games. I mean, I do talk about role-playing games. No, it's Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to make a cleric for BECMI or Basic Dungeons and Dragons. This is a very early version of Dungeons and Dragons. Some of you will be aware of this. Some of you won't be. It's all right. I'm going to make it clear now that I am very new to BECMI Dungeons and Dragons or Basic Dungeons and Dragons. I've made about 3 or 4 characters so far, and I have at least covered all of the basics: the cleric, fighter, the thief, and the magic user. So I've done those character builds at low levels, okay? But I had to be taught by somebody else because I never actually picked up that game when I started out. I've been taught by Wally DM. Okay, Wally's a buddy of mine. There are a couple of videos down in the description that go through it step by step to show you. They're a lot shorter than what this will be. I would suggest checking them out later on because he doesn't give you quite as much information as I'm probably going to wind up doing, because I will try to fill out the entire character sheet. That's my intention for today. So my intention is, I see a lot of people saying dwarf cleric. No. So first off, Basic Dungeons and Dragons does not have races, and it just has classes. So dwarf is a class, elf is a class. So that's the first thing to understand. It was a bit of a shock to my system, but I understand that's how you simplify the process when you're dealing with BECMI or Basic Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a character sheet, and we're going to work our way through and fill in all the information. I'm going to be needing you to roll some dice, people, for those of you who are familiar with my channel. We haven't rolled dice for almost 3 months. I know you will probably have forgotten how to do so, but it will be required. So for those of you who have dice available, I would suggest grabbing some dice, because it's probably one of the very first things we're going to wind up doing is getting you to roll some dice. You will need 6-sided dice for this process, so 3 6-sided dice is probably spot on. If you don't have 3 6-sided dice, you're going to be rolling those dice 3 times, and I'll be getting you to help me build the character. Now, one of the reasons why I'm doing the cleric and I'm doing a human cleric is because there's no prerequisites. I don't need to worry about the dice rolls that we wind up getting ultimately in the end. So that's part of the reason for doing it this way, okay? Big Kid, hello Big Kid. Big Kid is a patron, so is Fred Hubber. Thank you for being here. And Big Kid is also a moderator. Hello. So I can see, please do not roll. So when you're rolling your dice, you need to not give me the final number. Give me all 3 numbers that you roll, that you actually roll. Okay, don't make them up. That you actually, otherwise I'll roll the dice. Okay. So we're not going to be doing 18, 18, 18 down the line. Okay, that isn't going to be happening. So make sure you have those 6-sided dice. Make sure you're ready to go, and I will we'll start this process. If I can get my phone to work, hashtag roll 3 6-sided dice for abilities. the ability scores. This is basically our first step. So I have a, hopefully I've moved us over to the, no, there we go. So I've got to make sure I shift us over here. So this is our character sheet here, okay? Blackjack, I rolled 21. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, okay, all right. So this is our character sheet. This is a fillable character sheet. We'll put in a character name shortly. Right now, the player's name we won't worry about. The game master in this case, we're going to put down Wally. I will be playing in a BECMI or Basic Dungeons and Dragons game at the end of the week as part of the Game Master Roundtable. We will be returning to Kill Bagel, or is it Bargle? Sorry, I just like doing that, and it's a funny name. Anyway, so that's what you're going to do, is you're going to roll. Now, you need to give me all 3 dice that you roll. So if you roll a 4 and a 3 and a 2, then write down 4, 3, 2. Okay? Put little commas so I know what is going on here. So our first step, and this is my sort of breakdown, is we roll in order from strength right through to intelligence, wisdom, dex, con, charisma. We're rolling in order 3 6-sided dice. So we won't be moving these around. They just go straight into order. Thank you. Thank you, Derp. Derp is also a patron. Thank you for doing this. There are some page numbers and references that I have used. This is the basic set that we're using for today. Okay, so our first number. We've got a 6, a 2, and a 2, which comes to 10. Thank you for doing the maths. I do appreciate it. Thank you for giving me all the numbers, Derp. So we just need somebody to do that 5 more times, and we'll have all our numbers. Okay, so our strength is 6, 2, 2. You'll notice this is very similar to other versions of Dungeons and Dragons. It's not that complicated. It's actually fairly simple. And once we've done that, we'll be able to figure out our adjustments. There are adjustments for that. The adjustments or the modifiers or the adjustments, the word modifier or adjustment is pretty much the same, but basically our adjustments are here. They're on page 50. I'll go to page 50 if I need to. But basically we have a 3 is a -3, okay? 4 to 5 is a -2. 6 to 8 is a -1. These are different to what you're usually used to, people. 9 to 12 is no adjustment. 13 to 15 is a +1 bonus. 16 to 17 is a +2 bonus. And if you are very lucky and you manage to get an 18, you get a +3 bonus. So those are the modifiers, or as it's called in basic, adjustments. Okay, good. I can see some dice are being rolled. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's put some numbers in, shall we? Okay, take off my glasses so I can see what's going on. Big Kid has rolled a 4, 3, and a 4. So that'll be for our int, or intelligence. So it'll be 4, 3, and 4. And that comes to a grand total of 11. So our numbers aren't huge, and the game isn't really designed to necessarily have huge numbers. You don't necessarily have to have big numbers to play this game. It is possible to play with quite small numbers. We're doing pretty well so far. I did have a guy roll 18 6 times in a row, 3d6 using my dice. I believe you. Okay, so Big Kid has also rolled again. I'm glad to see we've got somebody rolling away there. Good. So the next set of numbers is Big Kid has rolled a 3, a 5, and a 3. So this will be for our wisdom. A 3, a 5, and a 3. Comes to a grand total of 11, which is fine. 11's a reasonable score. And then we've got your dice are packed, Fred, no problems. Somebody else will do the rolling for today. So wisdom is actually an 11 right now. So I'm doing my maths here on a piece of sheet and paper while I'm plugging it in, people. And then Big Kid, Derp, I need you to keep rolling your dice. And Big Kid, I need you to keep rolling dice. We need a couple more numbers. And then Big Kid has rolled a 4, a 1, and a 1, which will be related to our dex. So our dexterity is going to be quite low. Hello, Milton. You got you got 6, 5, and 2. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So our dex is going to wind up being 4, 1, and 1 is going to come to a 6. It's not the end of the world, people. It just does mean that we will wind up having a modifier adjustment for our armor class. And then Milton Knowles, the insane Witch King, has cracked us a con or constitution at 6, 5, and 2. And Big Kid has given us the last numbers. Cool. So let's just pump in our dex as a 6. Our constitution came out as a 6, 5, or 2. So that's a grand total of 11, 13. So con is 13. And their last one goes into our charisma. So there is no dump stat in this game, people. You can't dump stat things. Things don't get moved around like they do in the modern versions. Although I suppose you could do that if you wanted to. But that's sort of not what basic is all about. So that comes out as a 16 for our charisma. So we've got a very, very high charisma. Now, charisma is used for very different things in this game compared to what you're used to. Okay, so that's our first step. We've done that. Now, once we've done all of our dice rolling, okay, our next step is we're going to put in our adjustments. One of the things we will obviously be doing is we'll be just marking down that we're taking the Cleric as our class. So we'll do that now. So our class is going to be Cleric. One of the reasons why we can do this is if we're a human, we're playing a human character, there are no prerequisites. So one of the problems of playing or choosing a class when you want to be a dwarf, an elf, or a halfling is there is a prerequisite. You need to have a certain score value to be able to play those classes, the dwarf, elf, or halfling. But with a human cleric, there are no prerequisites. It's always good to be able to have a high score in something by all means, but it's not absolutely necessary. The primary ability score that we would like to have is wisdom, but we're not going to shift wisdom. We're going to just leave it where it is. Wisdom 11 will do fine. So our adjustments, you can shift your scores around. So that's, I guess, the other thing I'll point out is there is the choice to actually move them around. So if you decide, well, actually, I would like to adjust some of these scores that I've got, rather than shifting the whole score, this is how it works. You can raise your primary requisite by 1 point by lowering another ability score by 2 points. So if I wanted to increase my wisdom, since I'm going to be a cleric, and wisdom is your primary ability score for a cleric, if I wanted to increase it by 1, I would have to drop something by 2 points, and nothing I drop down can go lower than a 9. So I can't drop anything. No score can be lower than a 9 when I drop something down. Okay, so that's one of the things. Dexterity can be raised, but it cannot be lowered. That's another thing. And you cannot exchange con and charisma. So I would have to look at other options. So charisma, sort of, So I'm not going to worry about any of that sort of thing because I don't have high enough scores and some of these things to really worry about it, and it's just going to take more time. So I'm not going to worry about the adjustment. We're just going to put in the actual modifiers for this. Okay, so we got a 6, so that is a 6 is a -1, which is not the end of the world. We're a cleric, so we can wear very heavy armor, so we can wear much better armor to compensate. 9 to 12 is no adjustment, so that would be a 0. So anything that's 9 or 12 to 12, so a 10 would be a 0 adjustment. And so would 11. Okay, and then wisdom is going to be a 0 as well. Okay, now a 13 is going to be a little bit higher. Our 13 comes out as a +1. Okay, so we'll do a +1. And our charisma is a 16, so our 16 comes out as a +2. +2. +2. Now, if you're wondering where the information for that is, it's on page 50 of the BECMI Basic Dungeons and Dragons rules. Okay? All right, cool. So that's the first step. We've got our numbers down. Once we do that, we're going to work our way through. This little list here is what was provided to me by Wally DM. So we've done our ability scores. We have selected our our class, we've got that determined. There is going to be, if we have a very high primary prerequisite, ability score, then we get a bonus to our experience points. We won't, because it isn't high enough to do so, unfortunately. Okay, that information is on page 23, if you're wondering. I guess I could just, if I can drop over to page 23, I'll at least be able to show you what I mean. Where is it? Is this page 23 here? No, it's page 21. This is page 23. So here, on this page here, just in here, I'll just zoom in a little bit. Right here. So if you're playing wisdom, your prime requisite would be wisdom. So if I have a wisdom of 13 to 15, I would get a +5 to any experience points that I earn. So when I get experience points, I get an additional 5%. Okay. If I have a 16 to 18 for my wisdom, then I would get an additional 10% to my experience points. So you get slightly more if you have high abilities scores in those prerequisites. But we don't today, so we don't need to worry about that. So what we can do is we can shuffle on down here to the bottom here. Bonus is 0. Okay, that's it. That's nice and easy. We don't have to fill out anything else on that part of the sheet. Next, choosing our class. We've done our class. Exchanging ability scores, I've already explained that. Rolling for hit dice, or hit points. So for a cleric, it's a 6-sided dice. So let's go here. Hash roll a d6 for hit points. All right, so pick up that 6-sided dice, and you'll find the information on this is on page 50 as well. It should have the information on if you're playing a fighter, a dwarf, a cleric, an elf, a halfling, a magic user, or a thief. So magic users and thieves get a d4. The cleric, elf, and halfling get a d6. The fighter and dwarf get a d8. Okay, and we're going to be adjusting our hit points that you roll based off our constitution adjustment, or if you want to call it modifier, you can. Okay, so that's our first step here. So let's just jump over. Go on page 50. It's going to be all the way over here somewhere. I think that's right. No, that's too far. While you're rolling a dice, I'm waiting for somebody to roll a 6-sided dice to give us our hit points. And all right, should be here. So this, on this page, it lists different classes, what they are, and what your hit dice or hit point dice would be. Big kids rolled a 3, so we're going to go back to our character sheet, and we're looking at our hit points. So we rolled a 3, thank you. We put the 3 in, and then we look at our constitution adjustment. So we're going to be adding our constitution adjustment. If it was a negative, then we'll be taking away. But because it's a +1 on our con, we'll be adding 1. So 3 + 1 becomes 4. Simple as that. Thank you very much, Big Kid. I appreciate your assistance. Okay, next, we're going to be rolling for our money. And when you're rolling for money, it's very simple. You're going to roll 3 6-sided dice, and we're going to add 10 to that. So I'll get you to do that in a second. Let me just punch this in. Hashtag roll 3 d6. Okay. Give me each number so we can add them up, and I'll be adding, doing it for our goal, we'll be going, multiply that by 10. 10 multiplied by whatever we get here. Now, you're probably wondering, is that the case for all characters? Yes, that's the case for all characters as far as I remember. So if it doesn't matter what class you're playing, you always roll 3 d6 or 3 6-sided dice, and then you multiply it by 10 to get how many gold pieces you have. And then you'll use those gold pieces to go and buy your gear, which is what we're going to wind up doing very, very shortly. You might be wondering, why don't we just fill in some of the other details? Well, first of all, we go back to the character sheet here. I'm going to put here 5, 5, and 1. Thank you, Milton. I do appreciate that. We're just going to go here. Big kid. We're going to put your name in. We're our level 1. We're not going to go too high. Okay. We're going to keep it. We'll deal with the character name shortly. We're going to figure out most of what we need very, very shortly. Like all of this is almost done. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Okay. So Milton rolled a 5. And then another 5. And then a 1. So if we add them up, that's 10. That's 11. 11 times 10 equals 110. So we have 110 gold pieces to spend. So let's put our money in. 110. And, pardon me, we'll go back up to here. Our next step is we're going to do our equipment. Now for Cleric, we need to have a weapon and we need to have armor. And the value of these things you'll find on page, I believe it's 29 of the rules. So we need to decide for a cleric. Clerics can only use things that don't have a sharp, pointy edge. Okay, so you can use a mace, you can use a club, you can use a warhammer or a sling. You could have a sling and a warhammer, or a sling and a club, or a sling and a mace. That's fine. Okay. Armor, you can have any type of armor you like, and you can have shields. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the equipment section on page 29, and you're going to tell me what you would like. Okay, so page 29, if I can just swidgle through here very quickly. Is this the one? Is this page 29? No, it's 30. Next page. Here we go. All right. And if I scroll down, here we go. So what sort of equipment do you want? Hashtag. What weapons and armor do you want? Okay. Hammers, every kind of hammer. Well, there's only going to be one hammer. So the first thing to note is, yes, you can use a shield as a cleric. And yes, you can have plate mail armor. We do have, it's 60 gold pieces, but you can buy, if you want, we can have plate mail armor. And look, basic or BECMI Dungeons and Dragons, as a few of you will probably already be aware, is fairly brutal. It's very easy to die. So having really good armor would be smart. So we can certainly afford plate mail, and you're trained to wear plate mail as a cleric starting at level 1. You can also have a shield. That would be 70 gold pieces if we took the shield and the plate armor. And then in terms of the rest of the weapons, well, the ones that I got a star beside them are the ones that clerics can use. So a mace is 5 gold pieces. A club is 3 gold pieces. A sling is 2 gold pieces, and it comes with 3 stones. A warhammer is 5 gold pieces. So let's have a look at the chat and see what people decided. Where did I have that many $1 coins in my drawer? Okay. Hammers, every type of hammer. Breastplate and shield. There is no breastplate. Let's make it clear, this is BECMI, Basic Dungeons and Dragons. There is no breastplate. You can have plate mail, you can have chain mail, you can have leather armor, and you can have a shield if you want. But we'll take the shield, so we'll mark down our shield. Our shield comes to 10. That's fine. High quality plot armor all the way. Well, how's it going? Prepare, cook, and survive. How are you? I don't know if people can see that. So that's what we're aiming for right now. Those are really the options that we have available to us. I would suggest we just go with plate mail, personally. Just go with the heavier armor, and suck up the fact that you move a bit slower, but that's all right. We can live with that, right? Well, hopefully you can. Warhammer. Warhammer it is. So Warhammer's 5. So Warhammer, and that is going to be 5 gold pieces. That's 75. We've still got plenty of money left. Do we want a sling? Do you want to be able to shoot something from a distance? Plate and shield, Warhammer, then get a blacksmith hammer and small anvil. All right, I see what you're saying. So I'm going to mark down a sling, because it's always good. Even if you're not very good at it, it's always a good idea to have something that that allows you to make ranged attacks, even when you're not very good at it. Okay, so that's going to cost us 2 gold pieces. Okay, so we're going to get some gear in a second. I see some people are marking down. Let's get some rope and so forth. Okay, so we've got a basic gear. So our backpack is 5 gold pieces. If we want a backpack, we're probably going to need one. Somebody has said we should get some rope. There's a backpack. 5 rope, and our rope is going to cost us, where is it? It is 1 gold piece. Can the armor still be named plot armor? Then I'm all for it. Whatever you like. I don't mind. He failed Dex, so ranged is not an option. Yes, it is. It might not do very well, but if you can't move up to your target to hit it, you're probably just better off to just use a ranged weapon. I mean, you're not at low levels. You don't hit very often anyway, so it's not gonna. What else are you gonna lose? Okay, so let's put all this stuff into this character sheet right here, and then we will calculate our wonderful. We'll calculate our wonderful armor class at that point. So normal stuff, backpack. It's backpack. We have rope. We have a weapon. We have our, let's put this down here, warhammer. Okay. Next we have a sling. We'll put our sling here. And we have 30 stones. So we'll put that in. Our armor is plate mail. Okay. What else did we have to put down here? A pole, rations, tinderbox. Now we're talking. Holy symbol. Probably a very good idea. We're probably going to need a holy symbol for sure. Holy water. I shall hurl insults at the enemy. They smell of the elderberries. I recognize that a lot. I recognize that a lot. Okay, so first off, our poll that you're asking for is 1 gold piece. Okay. Next, rations. Standard rations for a week. Iron rations are more expensive. So we'll go with our standard rations, which is about 5 gold pieces, I believe. Yeah. Rations. And that's 5. What else did you want to put in here? A tinderbox. We do have a tinderbox. Tinder box, and that is 3 gold pieces. What else do we have here? Holy symbol. Our holy symbol is quite expensive. It's 25. Holy symbol, and we will need a holy symbol. All right. So there might be a few things that need to come off that that list to be able to afford all of this. Okay. Let's have a look here. So 70, 75, 77. Holy symbol is 25 gold pieces. It's expensive. So that is 102. We're going to keep going. We've got this one, this one, this one, this one. We've got our sling. We've got a backpack. So 107. A rope. 108. Rations we won't be able to afford, but we can get a pole. Okay, and we've got a pole. And that leaves us with like 1 gold piece left. So we can put all those things in to a certain extent, but not everything. okay, because we're going to need to have the holy symbol. It's kind of necessary. Holy symbol. Okay, so we've brought our holy symbol. We've got that, we've got that, we've got that, we've got a sling, we've got backpack, rope, and a pole. All right, and we now have only one gold piece left. So we've spent most of our money, okay? All right, so now that we've determined that, let's have a look at our next step since we've spent our money and got our gear. Armor class. We've got to calculate our armor class. Now we do have armor, okay, and we do have a shield. Now a shield gives us a bonus of 1 to our armor class, and we're not going to use Thaco, so forget about that. So if we have plate mail, the armor class that we have is a 3. If we include a shield, it goes to a 2. The smaller the number, the better your armor. Okay, so plate mail plus a shield, instead of it being a 3, it becomes a 2. I know it's funny you're deducting the shield number from the number for the plate mail, but that's how it works. So if you had no armor on, you'd have a armor class of 9. So this is complete reverse to what you're used to with modern Dungeons and Dragons. So we're going to go in here and we're going to put in our armor class, which should be currently a 2, as long as we have our shield with us. What are people saying in the chat here? 3 sacks, 4 pouches. Well, maybe it is. Maybe the holy symbol is a little hammer. It could be. You never know. Dear. Okay, so next step. A crab. Milton, yesterday's monster was a little bit out there. It didn't quite work out the way we'd hoped. Make change of GP to 9 silver from, so you can buy 3 copper. No, we don't. We could do that if you wanted to. You want to change it all into copper, or just a little bit of copper? I suppose we could. We're not going to worry about that. Let's just move on to the next step. So we've done our armor. Okay, if we were going to take chainmail, our armor class would be 5, and if we had a shield, it would become a 4. If we had leather armor, it would be 7 for our armor class, and if then we wear a shield, then it goes down to a 6. Okay, shield bonus is always just 1. Okay, we also need to adjust for our dexterity. We haven't done that yet, and unfortunately our dexterity is a -1. So that is the other part of the formula. Since we have a shield, we've added our shield, our plate mail, and we also got to add our dex modifier, which is unfortunately a -1. So it goes back to a 3. Okay, does that make sense? Plate mail, 3, shield, another 1, so it goes down to a 2. Then the deduction from the dexterity goes back to a 3. So there's our armor class. Okay, next. Moving along, to hit roll chart, see page 36. So this is a table that allows you to figure out what the heck you're supposed to do with this game when you're trying to hit a target. So page 36, if I can find page 36, it's 37, 36, and it should be right here. Okay, so this is the one we're looking for. So this table is the one that we need to actually populate down the bottom here. So you'll see armor class 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. So to hit the 2 hit roll that we require is all we're really doing is transferring these numbers over. Okay. It's actually very simple. So we're going to start with the 9 with the 0. 0 is a pretty good armor class. So where is it? I just missed it. So we're starting at 0. So 0 is starting at, oh, come on, where's the other one? Wrong one. There we go. 0 is a 19. So we need to get a 19 to be able to hit. So we just write 19 in here. And then we just keep going down in the values. Okay. 18 for if the armor class is a 1. Okay, that's the best armor class we can hit, 18. And we just keep transferring them down until we get to 10. Okay, so 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, whoops, that's a 15, 13, 12, and 11. There we go. To hit roll needed. There it is. Okay. And we're on our way. Your screen captured the all hail the mighty taco. Yeah, I'm not a fan of tacos. Not a taco fan at all. Can be captured of. Well, I think in the end we decided the monster from yesterday is a monster that changes the way it looks, but it has certain features that are very similar. So it's going to look different for everybody. I'm making this up. Okay, so this is our table right here. We've done that bit. So our to hit has been calculated. We need next we're going to do our saving throws per character class, okay? And for a cleric, between level 1 and level 3, it's exactly the same. So we want to go to page 24 for this one. I think it's right about, is this the right one? No, I think it's this one here. So our saving throws, the basic set only covers levels 1 to 3. So our death ray or poison saving throw is 11. So it goes 11, 12, 14, 16, 15. Rod, staffs, and spells is adjusted by wisdom for a cleric, but I don't think we have an adjustment for the cleric. So let's just punch in those numbers: 11, 12, 14, 16, 15. The idea is the lower the number, the better. You want a low number if you can get it. Anyway, so where are we? Right here. So this is going to be 11 for our cleric. This is a 12. We're dealing with magic wands. As you can see, magic wands is a 12. 14 for paralysis. Okay, 14. And then our dragon breath. Yes, if you have to deal with a dragon, dealing with dragons is hard. That's why the number's so high. 16. And a last one will be a 15. Now, there's no adjustment for wisdom, so we do not change the one when we cast dealing with spells. So we don't need to worry about a different saving throw for that one at all. I like the idea of trunks for legs. Okay, prepare, cook, and survive. I understand. I feel like Fred decided it was image 4. Okay. Okay. All right, let's keep going with the character building, shall we? We can get this done within an hour, I'm sure. Okay, so we've done all that we need to. No, wisdom adjustment applied to saving throws versus spells. We don't need to worry about that. There's no adjustment for this character. Next, when it comes to intelligence, there's going to be a little adjustment here required. We need to look at our intelligence score, and our score will determine how many languages we get. Normally, the number of languages that we get is going to be common plus your alignment language. So the first thing we want to do into our languages section, if we have a languages section, which I think we do, if I can find it, magic, maybe it goes in here, languages, skills, languages. Languages. Common, and then our alignment. So I haven't really talked too much about alignment yet, so yeah, we'll come back to that one. We're not a thief, so we forget about this one. This is an NA, missing in action. Okay, this is for the thief. We don't have these. These are not special abilities that we have. These are all for the thief, so we can just put NA into the section here. NA. Okay, all right. What we were doing next is determining our intelligence score. Depending on that, let's have a look and see what it is. It's only an 11, so with an 11, there's no adjustment. You just know common and your alignment language. So there's no adjustment. Between 9 and 12, that's average. Okay, next, moving down. Charisma. Charisma is used for your retainers adjustment if you're having retainers, and any kind of reaction adjustment, which I don't know very much about, frankly. We won't worry about that just yet. Next, let's have a look at your character name. We need a character name. Hashtag. What is the character's name? Okay, let's do this. You're going to design an STL and 3D print yesterday's creature, but it will be a while. I believe you. Okay, so we're going to do a character name. We'll deal with alignment in a second, although we could probably deal with it now. We also have encumbrance movement rates, which we can figure out, which is on page 30. Alignment, I didn't actually note down alignment, but let's have a look. If I go to the table of contents, it'll probably have the alignment section. Where is it? Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Retainers. Glossary. I don't see it. Oh, no, here we go. Alignment. So that's on page 9. There we go. Alignment. Here it is. So there is a place here next to the ability scores. Very high, low. Oh, that's adjustments. Is that adjustments I looked at, not alignment? It's probably adjustments, not alignment. I'm going to just skip that area. No. It says alignment. Adjustments is page 10. 6, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Okay, here we go. So, alignment. How creatures behave. So, we can pick an alignment. We can go lawful. Okay, there's chaotic. We don't get too complicated with alignment, and there's neutral. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go with, we're going to pick one. Pick an alignment. Oh, good. I see some character names coming. Hashtag. What alignment? All right. Baldwin, the Destroyer of Worlds. We would freak others out. His name is Vecna. Oh, I think you're getting a bit carried away now. Vecna, really? No. Neutral good. We're not going to go neutral good. We're just going to go neutral then, or good. these combos. We're not going to do the combo thingy. Okay, let's have a look. Chaotic. Thank you. Prepare, cook, and survive. We can do that. Chaotic. Whoops. Did I just... Oh, I know what I have. I got this on. Chaotic. So they're chaotic. And our character name... Patrick the Pummeler. Okay. Baldwin the Pummeler. We'll do this. Combination. No, it's not going to be Fred. But Baldwin Pummeler. There we go. Baldwin Pummeler is our name. Dear. Okay, so now we've done that, well, next step along here, we've done alignment, we've got that done, we've got our name, encumbrance movement, which is on page 30. And I believe that is, page 30 is way over here. Is this it? No, this page here. Okay, encumbrance, movement. Okay, here we go. So, encounter speed, running speed, blah-de-blah-de-blah. It's going to get adjusted, I believe, based off the type of armor you're wearing. So, if I remember right, where is it? Encumbrance. Mule, movement, and encumbrance. That's for the mule. This is for a character, is it not? Running, shadows. So there is a section on here. Down, 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 down. Here. Armor load, equipment load. And then encumbrance and movement rate. Oh, I can't really remember this. This bit has got me a little bit lost. We'll just skip past it. I'll come back to it if I can figure it out. Okay, next. Like I said, I've only played BECMI 1.5 times, 1.5 sessions of BECMI, and I've built maybe 3 or 4 characters with BECMI, so I'm still pretty new to it myself. Okay, so clerics, they have spell casting, okay, but they don't have no spells at first level. I know you're thinking, you've got to be kidding me. You have no spells, people. At first level, there's no spell. You're probably thinking, you've got to be kidding me, Fred. Yeah, I'm sorry. No spells. None. But you have spell casting. It's so funny. Spell casting. At level 2, you'll get a first level spell as a cleric. That's how this game works. Turn Undead is one of the other special abilities you get as a cleric. And if I can just find that. Yep, Turn Undead. Page 25 gives us all the maths for that. Our cleric spells are on page 26. So if we were building a second level character, we could take one first level spell. I will show you page 26 and then I will show you page 25. We'll fill in the rest of this character sheet. 25, 26. Scroll this way. No. 26. Sphere. There's our spells. Okay. So this is our turn ability feature. So the number, you roll 2 6-sided dice and that determines whether you're successful or not. So these numbers are quite small. Okay. Anything time you see a T means that you don't have to roll dice. They're automatically turned. Anything that says N is not turned. So you can't, anything that has it marked with an N, that's a creature you can't actually turn. Karen, really? You want to go Karen, are you? So let's enter in our numbers for our turning feature. So skeletons, 7. So this is down the bottom here, right here under turning. So that would be 7. And then for zombies, if we are determining what our numbers are for turning a zombie, it's a 9, and a ghoul is 11. So 9 and 11. Zombie 9, 11, and then a white is an N, which represents you can't turn it. And then anything else after that is something you simply can't turn either because it's too powerful. So you just mark them with an N. Going right up to a vampire being one of the strongest undead there are. So that's that section filled in. We currently have 0 experience points. And then the other page that we wanted to look at was page, I believe it's 26. 26, I think it is. So these are the spells you would be able to select if you are a second level cleric, but you don't get these at first level. Okay. Next, magic user, thief abilities, done that. So we've almost filled in everything. I'm pretty sure we've just about done the lot. We don't have to worry about that. There are no spells memorized, so we do go with a none. And needed for next level. So how many experience points do we need to go to the next level? I believe this is on Is it page 23? I think it's page 23 or 24. No, it's over here. Here we go. Yeah, so here we go. So we need 1,500 experience points to go to level 2. So that's what we put into here. 1,500. BECMI Undead are scary. Yes, they definitely are. So we've got that. We've done this. Skills. We don't have skills. We don't have any of those. We have these special abilities. We've already marked them in. Height and weight we can deal with if we wanted to. We do not have any magic items. We've got none of them. And okay, I think we're almost done. Probably one of the things we want to do is at least work out our attacks, like how do our attack work and how much damage do our weapons do. And that should be, if I'm correct, the damage output for weapons is it in the same place as before? Where's the page when it came to weapon output and damage? It'll be under equipment, isn't it? Page 29. Okay, page 29 should have the values for that. It's not page 29 though. No, scroll. Page 29. Where is the equipment section? Okay, here we go. So, daggers, weapons. Oh, weapon damage output. I can't find it. Darn it. I'm pretty sure, and I'm sorry I can't actually point you to the page. I'm pretty sure the amount of damage you do with a sling is 1d4. And the amount of damage you do with a warhammer is, I'm pretty sure it's 1d6. But for the life of me, I cannot remember. I can't remember where the damage output information is per weapons. Everything is sort of scattered in this document. So if you're ever playing BECMI and you're finding it difficult to find everything, totally understand, because it's actually not that simple. It's all over the place when you're looking through this thing. And then okay, so to hit our dice rolls, let's put this in here too as well, so you know what that looks like. So it's going to be, that's damage. Okay, well, actually we might just go and lowercase damage it, and then we'll go here, and then to hit for our warhammer is a 1d20 dice roll plus our strength, and our strength is 0, so there's 0 to add. Okay, not much going on there. Not a strong character. 0, comma, and then damage will just be 1d6, and then with a sling. Try page, it's page 30 and 32. Is that where the damage output for these things are? 30 to 32. All right. No. 30 to 32. I don't know that I see it. That's hit dice. There. No, I can't see the damage output for weapons anywhere. Which I know is a pain, people. But I'm just having to remember what I did before. Okay, so this is for our sling. I believe it's 1d20. And it will be plus. It will actually be minus in this case, because I think our dexterity is quite low. So we have a -1 for our modifier or adjustment. So we're going to be going down, and instead of it being a plus to our d20 for our attack, it's going to be -1. So yeah, you're probably less likely to hit your target. Hello Itchy, how's it going? So we've got our attack and damage for our weapons. I will put the word damage in here as well. Damage. There we go. And we've filled out a character sheet for BECMI Dungeons and Dragons or Basic Dungeons and Dragons. There's a space here for character picture if you want to put a character picture. But all the numbers are there. And now all you do is you show up and your Game Master will lead you through your adventure. As I said, I'll be playing BECMI Dungeons & Dragons at the end of the week. So that's Friday for me, Thursday for North America. And we'll be doing it at, I think it's 12 p.m. for me. If you're somewhere like Los Angeles, so Pacific Daylight Time. Is it Pacific Daylight Time? It would be 5 p.m. If it's Mountain Daylight Time, it would be 6 p.m. If it's Chicago Central Daylight Time, it would be 7 p.m. And if you're in Miami or Florida, and it's the East Coast, so it would be Eastern Daylight Time, it would be 8 p.m. And it will be on Wally DM's channel. So yes, the only thing I was not able to fully sort of explain was your encumbrance and movement load stuff. But movement and load and so forth are pretty basic. There's not an awful lot to worry about. Usually you don't have to worry too much about any of that sort of stuff. So sweet. We did it. Built a cleric that doesn't cast a spell at first level. It is a funny one. Let's end this poll here. 10 votes. Yes, so 50% have actually done this. No, 50% have not built a character for BECMI. There we go. We will end that poll. Oh, is it page 36, bottom left? Thank you, Pale Rider. Let's have a look. I mean, if I've got time to find it and check my numbers, I'll do that. That's fine. Page 36, you reckon? All right, let's have a look. Page 36. Is it page 36? Yeah, I'll scroll on through very quickly. I think it's about there. Page 35, page 36. Okay, we're looking. Okay, that's ranges. Here we go. So variable weapon damage. That's it there. There's the numbers we needed. So page 36 is the page we needed. And a sling does 1d4, so I was correct. And a warhammer does 1d6, and I was correct about that. Okay, so I got all the things down that we needed to have. So yes, you just look at the number. D10s are for a pole arm or two-handed sword. And battle axe, sword, normal, they're a 1d8. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. That's educated me a little bit more about where to find things so that I can actually tell other people about it. Okay, I'm hoping this was useful and interesting to people. Like, you know, I'm 52, but I never played BECMI or Basic Dungeons and Dragons. It just wasn't available in New Zealand to me. It was very rare for these sorts of things to show up in stores in my country, New Zealand. So I've never played it. I've only just started playing, and I'm probably going to continue to play more of it, just because, building a character for it's actually not that complicated. I spent an hour in a live stream explaining it to somebody, but if I didn't do that, it would have probably taken me roughly maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and that's if I'm kind of newish. You know, as long as you know where to look, it's actually easy to plop everything in, because everything's pretty standard. I don't mind going back to BECMI or Second Ed Edition before they added those assorted class handbooks. Fair enough, Fred, I understand. I know a lot of you have been asking me for BECMI character building or Basic Dungeons and Dragons character building, and so I thought, well, today is the day I will give it a go. So I think what we'll do is we'll try doing a fighter next week, since fighter comes after Cleric, right? And then we'll work our way through all of the classes for Basic or BECMI Dungeons and Dragons until we've done all of them. And hopefully for those of you who are trying to move into playing that game, you'll get a better idea of how to do that. Because I want people to play the game that they want to play. And if BECMI or Basic Dungeons and Dragons is for you, then by all means. And if that's not the game for you, I'm sure there'll be something on the channel that will appeal to you at some point. War Magic is great for only second level wizard dip. +2/+4 AC saves, I think. Monk build. I'm not sure. Booming Blade. Actually, I have not. What are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about here. I have no idea. You got me lost. In any case, I think we've done it. We've built the character. I'm going to disappear and go and do something else. Probably try to put my car back together since I had a car accident. Maybe I can get it so it doesn't come apart while I'm trying to drive to work today. That would be really nice. Hey, so thank you to my patrons who support me on Patreon so I can keep running this program. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for doing so. It makes a big difference when you can do that. I also would say thank you to everybody who's been watching or listening. If you've taken part in the poll, everybody in the chat who's been putting in their feedback, you're going to see more BECMI or Basic Dungeons and Dragons on the channel. Huge thank you to Big Kid for rolling some dice, and Pale Rider, Pear Cook and Survive, Fred Hubber, Itchy for slightly confusing me, but hey, nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. Milton, thank you. I appreciate your time. And look, everybody, it's been a great time. I always like doing these character building processes. It's always quite a fun process. We'll do some more next week. And also Scott, who was here. Almost forgot about Scott. So wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, the night, or the wee early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.